Nice of you to join me. And welcome to my channel. It's so lovely to have you here with me today. Today's tutorial is we are carrying on with our large folio album that we've been doing. I thought today what we would do is we will finish the inside of our attached box. So we'll decorate the inside, we'll do the policy holders, and then the little tiny mini album as well. Hopefully we'll get that all done in this video, but if not, there will be subsequent videos. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you click down here on my logo, or just move your mouse over my logo and then click it, a little subscribe button will come up. All you have to do is click on that and hey presto, you're subscribed. It's as easy as that. If you do subscribe, please don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, because that way you will be kept up to date with all my future videos that come out. So don't forget to hit the bell. And I mean, don't forget to hit the bell. Okay, so for our back cover, that's going to go for the base cover of our attached box, I'm just going to cut mine out of black cardstock. Now you can also then cut it out of your pattern paper. I just wanted to cover mine in black because then it will stand out. And also I'm going to wait and see how much pattern paper I've got left before I've done all my other bits. So it could be at a later stage I will cover this in pattern paper, but for now it's just black cardstock. And I'm also going to cover the inside sides as well in black. So these are the measurements that you will need. So for your base, you'll need to cut one at 7.5 by 10 1/8. For the two short sides, it's 7 3/8 by 7/8, and you'll need two of those. And then for the two long sides, it is 10 1/8 by 7/8. Now it could mean that we might need to take a millimetre off here and a millimetre off there, just so that they, you know, we can get them to fit properly. But if I just give you those sizes as a guide, then we can then trim down as needed. Okay, so I've cut out my pieces that we need. So we're going to attach the bottom one first. Now you can use glue or you could use your double-sided tape. Again, that's up to you, that's your preference, whatever you would like to use. Glue around the edges. I always put some in the middle just to be safe, and then just getting rid of all the dust that's accumulated in the bottom there, and then just wiggle it into place. There we are, and then burnish it down. Okay, then we can put our sides on. Now I'm going to do this longer ones, the shorter ones first. Now you could, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some double-sided tape along the top of mine, and then glue along the bottom. That way I know that it's going to keep stuck all the time. Okay, so guide that into place. Excuse my head for a moment. Okay, so that's one. Okay, put that one in. And again, if you wanted to add pattern paper to these, you most certainly could do. Okay. That's a long one. And I think I've actually cut these right, so I didn't need to tweak any of the sizes, which was good. And then, last one. And then that goes in there like so. Burnish them down. And there we go. So that's then your box. Nice. It looks really nice now. So again, if you wanted to add some pattern paper, you could do to your box. I mean, that looks pretty nice as well, but I'd have to paper piece my bit. Okay, next what I think we'll do is we will decorate the front and we will decorate the outside of our album. So I've saved these 2 sheets for my album cover and my back, and I've also saved this part as well. Now what I was going to do was I was going to use this part because it goes well with that, but what I thought I might do is I might cut some of these flowers out and stick the flowers on, and then use some glossy accents to make them stand out a little bit more. For the front, you will need to measure 8 1/8 by 10 3/8. Okay, that's the size of your pattern paper that you're going to have to cut. So you could then go into working out exactly what your space is, but I don't like to measure an awful lot if I can help it, so I'm just going to by eye it. So what I've done is I've just put my paper on the top of my cover, and I've just then very gently just folded those edges, the paper around the spine of the book. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure how much that is. So that is about 1 7/8. So I'm going to take off 1 7/8 off that side, and then see where we go from there. So first of all, I think the best thing would be to do is to cut it down. So 10 3/8. So I'm going to cut that part off, and then I'm going to take this part, because this is the part that I want to go round the other spine, and do it at 1 7/8, which is about there. Okay, so that's taking that bit off. So that is going to fit on the side. We're going to paper piece this on the side. So that's then there. And then I'm going to follow this around this side, and I take off this bit, and that is again about 1 7/8. So that will then fit round that side. Then hopefully, if I've done my job correctly, I should have a nice image that is near enough in the middle. I think what I should have done is cut some off of the top, not so much on the bottom, but that doesn't matter too much. I quite like it down here, because then you've got the top here, if you wanted to put a sentiment, or you wanted to put like a photo frame like I did with the other one. I can't really so much do the photo frame with this one because I've got my shape is round, and I think if I put a rectangle one on there it would look a bit odd. We're going to ink these edges now, and we can then get it stuck on. Okay, so that's stuck on there. And then I'm going to stick these ones on as well. So make sure I've got it the right way. So this is my top piece, because I want that bottom piece to go in. So let's cut this. Sorry, let's ink these edges. So it goes like that. Turn it round, and then this one goes on this side, but it goes that way. No. Now, if you wanted to put a pull, I wouldn't say no because it's open now, so I wouldn't put a pull on this. Otherwise, it's going to sit flat on the desk, isn't it? Right. And again, we will pattern piece. We will then just add some extra bits to that in a second. Okay. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this butterfly here. I'm just going to roughly cut it out because I want to stick it on to some black card, or if you've got any stone paper, that works fantastic as well. So then you can just cut them all out of, and then stick them onto some stone paper. So I'm just going to cut these ones. You could also add, if you've got some of the heartfelt dies, they would look fantastic actually. I'm sure the heartfelt have got some tiny little flowers. And then I've also got this dragonfly here, which would be really nice if we could get that on. Because what I may do with the dragonfly is just cut out the wings and not so much the body, because trying to get that body out would be a bit... Okay, be back. I'm just going to get my stone paper. Now this is the paper that I was talking about. This is stone paper from Stamperia, and it's fantastic. You can make so many things with it, and it really does. You can sew with it. It's washable. I did this in a workshop with Facilis Contus last year, and this is all made out of stone paper. So I've got some off cuts of my stone paper here. The only thing I would say is that you do need a very strong glue, so I use my Mod Podge. You need obviously a brush to put it on with. You just need to coat the back, okay, so that you've got glue over all of the paper that you're putting on. The only thing I would say now is to put your brush straight into some cold water so that it doesn't go hard. So once you've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and just make it a bit more manageable and cut off those there. So I'm going to cut this flower out first. Okay, I've just stuck them on with some hot glue, so you can just see here the dimension and where the butterfly is there. I'll go down there, and just a tiny bit up here. I've just done one flower here, and then I've just added this sentiment here. I am going to put some ribbons down the side and tie them into a bow. I think that would look really nice. We could colour some sari ribbon. That would look really nice down the side there. Now you could either use paint or spray if you've got spray paint. Not spray paint, misters. You could use distress inks as well. That would work really, really well. And these are my green colours. So I've got teal for 2 and townhouse teal. And what I'll do is I'll mix them both together. I'll do this one first. Don't need an awful lot, just a tiny bit. Just a lot of water. I think I need to get a new sprayer. My light colour, and then just a tiny bit of the teal for 2, and then just put that on, and then you'll get that variation in colour. Need a bit more. Yes, that's a bit better. So wrap that round. Right. I might add a bit more of this dark colour. I'm quite liking that. But adding it bits at a time, you can then control the colour that goes on. And then having it all scrunched up, you get more of a variation then. It doesn't look, it's more random. There we go. I'm not going to put any more on because I think that is about right. There we are. Right, so I'm just going to heat this. Okay. So you could have just that sort of there. Okay. So as I said, we'll put our glossy accents on afterwards. But I think that then is I think that just being the front of the book is enough. We could put on here. We could put like a small. I'll tell you, that's what we'll do. We'll put a small photo. A clear photo mat like I did on this one. We put this on, we did this one, but if we make that a bit smaller, we put it on the side and it can act as like a file tab, which would look quite nice as well. So I think that's what we'll do. Okay, so working on the front, then on the back of our book, we need it so that our flap that's going inside is going to be to the left, and we're going to work from this part going across. Now I've done a bit of a error in as I cut this down a bit too short, so that's why I'm not going to paper piece it onto the spine. I'm going to use that there. So you'll need to cut this down to 10 3/8 by 8 1/4. So that will go on there, and then this is going to fit onto our spine, our paper, our flap over, and you will need to cut yours at 2 3/4. No, sorry, 2 3/8. But obviously mine is already cut. So ink your edges, and then we can stick it down. Hopefully my glue is not. There we go. Okay. There we go. Move it across, and then just burnish that down. Okay. Ink the other one that's going on the flap over spine. Okay, and add this one. And then just for this part here, this was a half by 10 3/8, and then that goes on there. And then I'm going to just add a piece of cardstock just down there, just to hide the join. Okay, and then you can do 1/8 of an inch. I think that would be better. And then that will just fit over that join and then hide that nastiness there. So I'm just going to put my glue all the way up, and then stick that on. And then that just hides, and also if you haven't managed to get a straight enough edge, it will hide that as well. There we go. So that's that side, and we've just got this bit here to do, and I think this is the half as well. Yes, that's at a half. Way, making sure I've got it right, because it's got a little tiny bit of writing on. Okay, and then do your your 1/8 of an inch cardstock, and then that's going to just hide that join. So I'm just going to put my glue up there. There we go. Right, now before we cover this part here, we need to put on our handle what we're going to use. Right, I found quite a few different handles that I've got. So I've got handles like this that you can put in and then pull up that way. I've got little knobs that you can put on and pull them up, so you could have a knob on there like so, or one like this. This actually looks like it's made for this paper, but that can go on there like that, and then you can lift that up, and then we go into ones like this that you put them on, that's got a back plate, or ones that I used before, which is just a handle, which is these, which I think I'm going to use again because I quite liked that handle at the side. So to get your we need to get this the centre. Yeah, so 5 1/4 our centre there, and then we want to come in 1 1/4 would be our centre. So then that's then our half point. So I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to use my handle. It's got 3 notches on the top, and I'm just going to use that as my center point I'm just going to mark that around and go around like so, and then just use my pokey tool, my trusted pokey tool, wherever it's disappeared to, making sure you've got the right side, and then we're just going to poke through. So 1, 2. Okay, you need brads for this. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape just over those holes to hold my brads in place, because you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the handles and the brads to get them out. You need it to be, you need the legs to really stick and not come up out of the paper. So let's then put that through. So my brad there, push it through like so, and then just pull the legs back of the brad so that they then get stuck to that double-sided tape. I am going to get my hammer out in a minute and just hammer them flat. So that's the second one, and pull them out. Okay, and my hammer. And then put some of your construction tape just over that double-sided, just so that that gives it even more there we go, and then burnish that down so that that really sticks. And then that is, then you just pull this up, and then that is, then you can just open up your box that way. Okay, and now we can go ahead, and I'm just going to add on our corners, I'm going to add some corner embellishments. Okay, so we've got these little things that go onto the corners of our book, like that. It's just to protect the corners, but before I do those, we need to just cover the inside parts of our flap over spines. So this measures 2 3/8 by 10 3/8, and the other one would be the same, the other side. So you might as well cut the two out at once. So that then goes on to there. There we go. Oh, you come over. I'm sorry. It's because this book is so big. And then this last one over here. Now we have got one other thing that we need to do that I haven't done yet, and that is just just put our pattern paper on the end of our box here. We've done the long ends, but we just didn't do the outside ends, so that's these here. So these can measure, you can just use a, so that would be 7/8 by, I think that was 7 5/8 by 7/8. Okay, and then they just fit on, that will just fit on there like so, and then it just tidies that up. So on there, and then on the one underneath. And then that fits under there like so. So now what we can do is you can just go ahead now, and if you've got these little corner protectors, you can go ahead and put them onto some of the corners. So I've got these here. Now what all these do is they fit over and they just protect our corners of our book. So to put these on, I normally put quite a bit of glue in, but then get my pliers and I then crimp them down with the pliers. So put a bit of glue in there. And push that down, and then just get your pliers and just crimp, and then they should start to stick. That's 1, 2, and then we've got one more. And that's the last one, and that just protects those corners and just makes the books look a bit nicer. So open them out, and then so that is that bit done. And that keeps, does that keep getting stuck on? There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay, so that then we've done the top now. We've done all the outside. That's looking rather spiffing and lovely. And I'm liking how these have gone on around, which is looking good. So on to the next. Okay, we're going to make like the little file tab that's going to go on the side of our album. Now on the Vagabond one, the in Japan one, I did it on the front as a photo holder, but this one we can have it as a file tab where you can then maybe put the date of what the photographs are in the album. You know, maybe it's a special place that you've been on holiday. You can then record it on the front, and then it's easier for you to grab if you've got a few you know, in line on your bookcase. Now for our file tab that we're going to do, we're going to make something like this, and then this is going to go onto the side of our album like that, and then you can either put a picture in there, or you can put some words. You could put the date of what photographs are in here. It could be a holiday, it could be a birth, it could be a marriage, so you could put the dates and everything, and then maybe a little short description in there, and then when it's on your bookshelf you'll be able to then see exactly what it is in each folder. So to make those, so for this size we need to do one at 5.5 by 5. Now along this 5-inch line we need to score, so with the 5-inch measurement up against your trimmer, you need to then score this at 2 1/4 and score, don't cut, and then move it down and then score again at 4 1/2 like that. Then we're going to rotate it once, So we've got so that the scored lines are horizontal, and you're going to score again at 1/2 inch. Okay, so you should then have something that looks like that. Okay, so we're going to chop off a corner. So we're going to miter the corners, miter those 2 corners up to where the 2 score lines meet, and then miter the top one. Now at the bottom where you've got these 2 score lines and then one in the middle, so you're going to go at an angle up to the point of that score line, and then do the same on the other side, so you create like a triangle in between. We're going to fold it over, so make sure you've got all your folds in place like so, and that it fits. Now if it's a little bit too big and it's a bit tight, what you can do is just trim off a tiny bit off this side here, because we're not going to see it. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly straight, but just crease that down. Right, and then what we're going to do, this tab here, we're going to cut that off. Okay, like so, because that's going to go over the top. I just need to, I've not done that. There we are. So that goes over the top like so. If you've got so with that all done, with the glue tabs that are going to fit onto the back like that, don't glue them down yet, because now what we need to do is we need to mark out where our acetate's going to go. Now I just use my Tim Holtz ruler, and I'm just going to go at 1/2 inch width all the way around, so I create like a rectangle in the middle. So very lightly go down to 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the other side as well, so come down 1/2 inch up to there, and then we can then just go across the top up to that mark, and then do the same at the bottom, and that would be 1/2 inch as well. Then using our trimmer, we're going to just line up our pencil line in the gully of where your trimmer is. So where your blade goes, line that up so so your pencil mark is in the middle. Okay, that should work. I'm just going to check. Yeah, so we go 1/2 inch and we go across. Don't go all the way across, just go where that pencil line is. And the same with this one. Okay. Go across very gently, and then we can do this 1/2 inch one here then. And then do the other side. And then that should be okay. So take them all out, and then there's your hole. Now, if you can see, I've actually gone a little bit too far with my trimmer. So I've created like little nicks, but we can get around that by using our construction tape. Right, so working on the back side, where I've put those nicks with my trimmer, just get some of your construction tape. Okay, and I'm just going to rip off about 1/4 of an inch, and then where them nicks are, just put that construction tape over those nicks on the wrong side so that they stick down. Once we get our pattern paper on there, you're not going to see those nicks at all. Now if you wanted to, you could put your construction tape around there, that would also help, but it's virtually not, you can see it there, but when we put our pattern paper over the top, it's virtually hidden. Okay, so you're not going to see it. But having that construction tape, I've got glue all on my fingers, having that construction tape on the inside just then gives those nicks something to adhere to. So once we've done that, we need to cut our acetate. Now the acetate, I'm just going to cut at 2 by, I think it was 2. Yes, 2 by 4.5. Okay, and then that should then fit over there. Now I'm going to put that acetate on there because otherwise you put it on the table and it becomes invisible and then you can't find it. So using your double-sided tape, you're just going to put the tape about, again, a couple of millimeters away from that edge and go all the way round like so, and along the top. And then while we've got our double-sided out, we're going to also put our tape on our glue tabs. Okay, so let's just burnish those down. Okay. And take the backing off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we can, working from the top, I'm going to put the acetate on. Make sure that you haven't got, now I've got a little bit of this double-sided showing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and put a little bit of construction tape over the top of that. So burnish that down so that's stuck nicely, and then just, as I say, just a tiny bit of your construction tape. I'm just going to tear some off and just stick it over that extra piece of double-sided so that I can't see it, because what you don't want is when you put this over, you don't want it to stick to the back, so that way you are not going to get that. You could also put some along the top here, and that will then you won't have a lip inside, so that might be a little bit big, so just tear a little bit off. Oh, I'm going to have that at the top, I think. There we go. And then that's going to, so that you're not going to end up with, when you put it, put your tags and things in, it's not going to catch. So once you've done that, we can put, no we won't, we'll put that on in a minute. So when we need to now cover our file tab, you'll need to cut out 2 3/8 of an inch by 4 7/8 and 2 3/8 by 2 1/8. Okay, I've cut mine out already. Once you've got them on, we're going to work a corner at a time. So these two here are going to go together. Now what I do is I tend to put them together, but I only cut one of them. So I might go from that corner there. So I've just put a little mark there. Oh, I'm so sorry. So with our once you've cut out your strips, I've then put a mark where if you can just see now, I'll just hopefully be able to see that, just a little mark, a little pencil mark there in that where that right angle meets the top. Now I'm going to cut from that right angle all the way up to that corner at an angle like so, and that then should give me a really nice mitered corner. Okay, like so. Do the same with the other side. So this one, put it so you've got that right angle. Make a mark with your pencil and then line it up and then cut up into that corner, and then that will create the mitre for the top. So coming for the mitre for the bottom, so that's the top. So again, do the same, mark it and then cut at a diagonal up to that corner. So that'll be that side, like so, and then do the same with this one. Get it in right, put your little mark and then cut up to that corner, and then you should be ready to start sticking them on. So I'm going to stick the one of the long pieces on first. So that's that side. Like so, and then I'm going to stick the small one on. Now I think I need to stick the other long one on next, don't I? Then the other long one, like so. And then one of the mitres on there like that. There we are. And then the last one, which is down here. Oh. So then this one goes on like so. There we go. And then you create those nice mitered corners. Now if you want it where you've got a gap in there, then what you would do is you would get 2 pieces of your card, however they are. Again, put them together and then cut them both off. So you would then cut from corner to corner like so, and then you would put them together like that, and then you would create that effect in the middle, like that. Okay, so you would have a bit of your black showing through there. Okay, so you could have it like that. So there's a few ways. There's also another way where you just cut out your rectangle and then use your trimmer and cut it out that way. That's so you've got one continuous piece. That's another way of doing it. So once we've done that, don't stick it together yet, because we need to then add our little notch out of the top. Now this is going to measure from scored edge to scored edge to scored edge. That's a tongue twister. From scored edge to scored edge, you're going to measure it at 1 1/8. Okay, and put your notch in, and then that will notch out those holes for you. So then you've got your little finger notch. And now we just need to pick your pattern paper that's going on the back. There. Right, I've just got a bit of offcut actually. So you're going to cut this piece out at 2 by 4 7/8. And then that can fit on the back here, like so. And then that's going to give you, what's that? Oh, that's quite nice. I'm going to have that side. So glue this into place, and then that can go over there, and then you've got that in the middle. There. Okay. So now you can go ahead and take off your glue tabs on the double-sided backing off on the glue tabs, and then just work that down, and again on the bottom work that up, so that's on the top. And then you can also then make yourself a little white insert to go in there, and then that then is going to fit on the side of your box. Now you can have it either at the top or at the bottom or in the middle, so wherever you want it to go, really. It's really up to you. So I think I might have mine at the middle. You can also have one that goes all the way down, and if you wanted to, but I think just having one that size is quite nice. So I'm going to just put some double-sided tape on mine, and I'm also going to use some glue as well. Okay, take your double-sided backing off. 1, 2, and then you need to very carefully stick it into place. So then that then is your file tab for this front, the side, and then you can put your little tab in there, and then you can write on there whatever it is that's in your box. So what I could do now is I could just go around quickly with our glossy accents. Right, so with the glossy accents, I'm just going to put it over my flowers. I'm going to put some on my butterfly, and again on this butterfly, on this wing, sorry, like so. And it's very good because it will find its natural, it is self-leveling, so maybe got to just try, and that's it. That side and on there, and then we will do these flowers here, and I'll do a couple of flowers here, like so. I'll do this big one. I'm not going to do all of this, I'm just going to do some of these. Like so, and maybe this one here. So I've done those, I'm going to do this one here, and then I think I'm going to put that to the side to dry. I might do a couple on the actual front of the book, like so, and maybe a couple up here, just to give it a bit of three-dimensional, just picking out elements in your paper. And then this one here. Like that. That should be plenty, I think. With those done, I'm going to put that to one side to dry, because this needs to dry naturally. You can't heat dry this, otherwise it bubbles and it looks nasty. So yeah, make sure that you do that maybe at the end of the night when you've finished everything else, and then you can just leave this then to go off overnight. So thank you again for watching my tutorials. I really hope that you're enjoying them. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click on the logo down here and a little subscribe button will come up. All you need to do is click on that, and that's it, that's easy, and then you're subscribed. The only thing you may need to do is, once you've then hit subscribe, is just hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified every time I upload new content to my channel, and then you won't miss anything. If you're on any of the social medias, come and follow me on those. As always, the links will be in the description box down below, along with a material list of everything that I've used in this video and in previous videos that is to do with the Folio album one. So thanks again, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!